YTPC. Aristopoulos here. On the other side of the election. It is 9:45 here, and for me, the election of 2016 is over with. I've cast my ballot. It is out of my hands. Housekeeping. The unnamed pipe, filled with half and half. My first time trying this. I must say, I like it. Very nice. But anyway, I guess you can imagine how relieved I must be. Well, I don't know how relieved I could be. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to hear about it for the rest of the day. Whenever I get online, turn on the TV. This election, part of me feels like probably the best thing that you can do with this election is use it as an opportunity to give some independent candidates some percentage points. Hopefully give them enough of us percentage points to inspire more independent candidates to throw their hat in the game and try and get us away from this two-party system. Not much of a conspiracy theorist, or I'm not much for conspiracy theories. But I have to say, I think if I were ever to think that there were a conspiracy, it would have to be between the two parties to keep control of the government. Maybe even a side deal here and there to flip-flop it back and forth to ensure that each party gets to have the office for such and such amount of time. And I felt that way ever since Bob Dole ran against Bill Clinton on a platform of doing away with the Department of Education. Whatever the hell that was about. Got the Japanese and other countries running circles around us, education-wise. Do you want to do away with the Department of Education? And then I felt that way again when John Kerry ran against Bush. Because the only thing you ever heard anything about was anybody but Bush. And what was it, 04? Anybody but Bush in 04? I mean, you couldn't really go anywhere and hear how John Kerry felt about the issues or what he had planned. Or I don't know. I can't really say that I was very proactive about finding out either, so. But it just seemed like that seemed to be the theme. But I don't know. This election here. I've run the gamut of thinking anything and everything was going on. Even to the point of thinking that maybe Clinton paid Trump to do this. To run so she could sail into office. But I don't know. I mean, if this was a part of Clinton's master plan to have Trump run against her so that she could hopefully sail into office, and that's still the game plan, then it seems like she'd certainly be smart enough to not get busted on all those emails. If you can say that she's gotten busted. Lots of smoke. Still no discernible flame anywhere, though. But I tell you, I kind of hope Weiner takes her down. I think we deserve to hear the late night comics go after that for the next 4 years. After all this, I think we've earned that. Wiener jokes for the next 4 years. I'd be cool with that. But nobody thought that Trump was serious about this. Even from the very beginning, people were talking about how, he's a business guy. And when you go into office, you got to put all your assets into a trust. And you don't have access to them, as far from what I heard, until you leave office, because you can't be. They don't want you to be swayed financially. You don't have any access to your private funds while you're in office. You got to put all of that in a trust. And people were concerned that there's no way that Trump would ever want to do something like that. And especially if he's been getting his money, through unscrupulous methods. I mean, what are the chances somebody's going to uncover something if they're the ones handling your finances? I don't know. Like I said, a lot of smoke. No real flames either way. Except on how Trump feels about certain people over others. Certainly seems to be no mistake in that. But I'll tell you, how I feel about this election season ending is about how you feel after a date where you held a fart in all night long. Just the relief that comes after that. Maybe not even that. Maybe how you feel after a date where you knew halfway through that it just wasn't going to work out, and you still held that fart in all night long. You didn't look for a moment to just gracefully crack that thing off. I realize the video's taking an obnoxious turn. I did encounter a bit of voter suppression. There was a girl at the polling office as I was going in, handed me a cutout of an apple with the names of the Board of Education that she expected me to vote into office. No payment or anything. Just expected me to vote these people in. And then when I was leaving, she asked for the thing back so she can hand it to somebody else. I got nothing. How do they expect to suppress people's vote if they're not going to pay you off? Well, I was on my way to get gas too. I wonder how voter suppression works. Because unless they're going to go in there with you and stand behind the voting machine with you and watch you cast your vote, I don't see how that's a bankable option. I mean, it looks like you'd have a much better chance showing up with a bunch of $20 bills and just passing them out to people. Looks like you'd have a better result than just showing up and threatening people and having them go in there by themselves and cast their vote. How the hell are you going to know who they voted for? Maybe Denzel was right. Maybe it's all entertainment. Mostly bullshit. I mean, maybe Trump and Clinton are the Ben Kingsley of this Iron Man movie. There's somebody else entirely calling the shots. Maybe Anthony Hopkins. Seems to be going pretty good now. It's being a little difficult to keep lit there for a while. And I packed it all the way to the top because the other night I was smoking in the cold, and a friend of mine had to go get his inhaler because it smelled so bad. And he'd been out there with me before when I was smoking. It was Captain Black Royal. And he had no problem. And we couldn't figure out what was going on. And then I remembered that I had heard that you don't smoke it all the way to the bottom because the oils and the nicotine from the smoke from the tobacco on top saturates the tobacco on the bottom, and it gets real nasty. And I had noticed a slight change in the taste, but I didn't think anything of it. But I mean, I didn't think I smoked it that far down. But that's the only conclusion I can come to. Maybe somebody out there has a suggestion as to why all of a sudden it just has a really bad smell about it. At first I thought maybe it was the pipe, because I hadn't really broken it in good. But I smoked this pipe around him before. But yeah, we came in off the deck and watched Last Man Standing Friday. And after it, I left to go home, and he said that he had to break out the air freshener. He had to use his inhaler. He has asthma. He said he had to use his inhaler, and he didn't know how long, but he just couldn't breathe. It smelled so bad. So if anybody out there has a suggestion as to what it may have been, like maybe it was just the cold weather. I don't see how the hell that could come into play, though. But I really didn't think that I smoked it down quite that far. Or maybe I did. You know, there is a kind of a rubber-like lining on the inside of this pipe. I wonder if that had something to do with it. It feels rubbery. I don't know. Weird shit. Sorry, I know I've popped off quite a few profanities in this video. I personally don't believe in profanity. I don't think there's anything quite so petty about society as the cordoning off a group of vocabulary words and deeming them unacceptable. I mean, we're the ones who give those words power. So, I don't believe in profanity. But I understand that other people do. And it's offensive. And, I want to keep the videos as family friendly as possible. Although I know it's not something the family's going to gather around. So I apologize if anybody takes offense. I will try not to pop them off intentionally. But just understand it's probably going to happen from time to time. Profanities kind of remind me of dogs. You know how dogs are always so eager to please, and they're right there for you. They're always following you around. When you get angry and you go to say something, they're the profanities are the words that kind of come running up to you. They're the eager words. They want to let you know that this is a good place for us to be applied here, or in a situation here, you can apply us here. Probably going to be a lot of profanities tonight, no matter who wins. I feel like Al Pacino in Sin of a Woman. He goes, The History of My Skin by Charles so-and-so. Or was that when he said Chuck? And Chris O'Donnell said, I don't like to be called Chuck. I'm going to go to Virginia tonight. Watch the election results come in with my family. Just in case the urban areas are not the place to be should the wrong person win. I feel like Forrest Gump. And that's all I have to say about that. Well, I certainly hope you all have a safe election night wherever you are. And I guess till next time, keep an eternal ember burning. This is Aristopoulos. Bye.